Your taxi cab ride just got a little pricier. They can now charge a fuel surcharge. It's extra on top of the fare. KXLY4's McKay Allen live at the Spokane Cab. If you hail a cab in the area, you're going to pay a pretty penny now, right?
Yeah, and it's getting prettier all the time. Now, is this just another way that companies are nickel and diming the consumer to death, or is it just part of the rising costs of doing business?
It's like that old Hank Williams song, you got the money, honey, I got the time.
Riding in a cab can get pretty spendy.
And we'll go anywhere you have to, but it will cost you.
And these days it will cost you even more.
It costs me, say, $20 to top off my tank at the end of the day. It's costing me closer to $40, even $50 a day.
Spokane Cab raised their rates substantially 2 years ago, but now they're trying something different to stay afloat.
Rather than try to raise them again, we decided to try a fuel surcharge.
Spokane City signed off on the $2 extra fuel surcharge. It's separate from the normal fare. That means you pay for the fuel, but
it irritates some people.
After all, it's just another extra charge, and it's hurting the drivers, too.
It's cut into some of the guys, they say it cuts into their tips.
It seems people are more likely to give tips when the fare itself is, say, $2 higher, instead of when it's added on as a surcharge.
You charge them $2 more than the meter says, they're not giving you nothing else.
Turns out, it costs more to ride in a cab in Spokane than in many other cities. Boise, $2.10 a mile, no fuel surcharge. Salt Lake City, $2 a mile, no fuel surcharge. Even big cities like Boston at $2.25 a mile and no fuel surcharge, and New York City at $2 a mile and $1 fuel surcharge are cheaper. Most cabbies in Spokane charge around $2.50 a mile, and of course, the fuel surcharge.
The bottom line is all of us are paying for it.
And the cab drivers, the ones charging you all of these high fares, they have many of the same thoughts about gas prices we all do.
What I'd like to say is not printable.
Now, with the pickup fee and the mileage fees, add that to the surcharge fees, just for a couple-mile trip, you can actually be paying well over $8 to $10 just for a couple-mile ride. Now, not every single cab company in the area is actually doing the surcharge. Some are just actually raising their fares instead. Reporting live, McKay Allen, KXLY4 HD News.